I want to speak today about finding the fire to really kind of push yourself through this journey. One thing I like to say sometimes is be pissed off at what happened to you. And what I'm referring to, not everyone had this experience. I had this experience, and I see a lot of people in our community where something happened. For a lot of folks, that was extractions or braces or a palate expander, where a dentist or an orthodontist convinced them of doing something. And, not only did they charge them a lot of money, but like it really damaged them. It damaged their lives in the future. And in a way, whether it was intentional or not, like it was a lie, right? Like they were told, hey, do this to make yourself healthy and pay a lot of money. And what they got as a result was many years of, getting worse and suffering, right? And I think once you see the pattern, as much as I do, I think there needs to be some accountability, right? And so that's like what happened to me with this TMJ dentist in 2014, where he drilled my teeth. My life went so downhill really fast. There's no accountability for him, right? Like he completely, almost fully destroyed my life. By some miracle, I figured out how this stuff works. And the only thing that he lost, that like he didn't continue to get money from me, right? I like to call this make your recovery your battle cry. And so by this I mean like take all that like frustration that you had, because a lot of you guys out there have went through some years of suffering like I did, and then use that, channel that energy, and even some people feel anger. I know I felt anger for a while. Use that to fight this battle, because this battle takes time and it's hard sometimes. And when I say battle, I mean like using the mouth guard, doing the stretches that I talk about to come back and bring your life back. That is something that I kind of think about every day. Like every day for me is like, okay, like I'm fighting my way back from what happened, and I've been fighting for a while, but at least now I know the rules of this battle and I know I'm going to win, right? And as I see, like the dentists and the orthodontists that are still doing this stuff and damaging lots of people, like I kind of envision that, okay, one day the tides are going to turn. Like we're going to have them with the power reversed, where they are under the gun and having to answer for what they have done to people. And I see, like, I kind of envision them like that they have fear in their eyes because they realize, wow, like I did this to so many people and now I need to answer for it. I hope that day comes. I hope that I'm involved in that. But this is kind of what I think about in the back of my head, that just like, because it's a daily fight, like pushing yourself forward. And so I use some of that pain that is buried somewhere deep inside me, and I use that almost like my weapon that I use to push myself every day to recover faster and achieve my other goals and be in a better position so that one day I can hold these people that are doing this damage accountable. And I already see it, right? Like I see people that like I remember like 5-10 years ago, and they told me that they thought that like I was just going nuts or whatever, right? And now like things are starting to change. Like I see them and they're having their health issues, and maybe they did some orthodontics, and like their face is aging. Like I'm only getting younger, stronger, like more determined, almost like I'm, like in my early 20s, right? And now when I see them, they don't even have the guts to say it anymore, because they're looking at someone that they just realize is stronger than them. This isn't like some weak person that's falling apart now. This is a person who they can just feel, is far more driven than they are at this point in their life. And that's what I love. Like I love seeing some of these old faces of people that said, oh, okay, Ken. And now they're kind of struggling, and they realize, all right, like maybe I was wrong. Maybe there's something to this. And I think that, I see that happening more and more with some of the people I've known over the years. And I think, as the years go by, like that might happen for some of you guys out there. But another metaphor that I like to make is, there was this book by Robert Kiyosaki when I was young, or when I was in my high school years. It was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I'd read it. And it's been like a bestseller for many years. But it's about how the rich dad had the right habits and the poor dad didn't. The poor dad didn't save money and whatnot. And when the rich dad, like he just kept saving, and the compounding effect of money made him a wealthy person and made his life easy later on. And I think of biomechanics as having a similar compounding effect as money. I come from I studied finance and stuff, so I understand the powers, like how compounding works a lot. And I almost think like this mimics compounding because your health is improving a little bit every day. And then so as the years go on, what that means for your career, your relationships, like that just keeps compounding in a similar way. And I think you'll realize that, right? So like at the beginning, like you see a little bit of a difference. And then by the time you're some years in and you're really improved, all of a sudden these people that you were looking up to who were like going like this, right? You were down here and improving steadily. Eventually, like you're up here and you're looking down at them. Right. And that's how I feel with some of the folks that are my age, right? That they're now like, I know folks that have cancer and other things and like they kind of blew me off, right? Like, and I am like as healthy as I was when I was 22 years old and they're my age and they're having cancer. And then that's nothing against them. Like, I hope that they heal and I hope that they listen a little bit. But my point is that I think folks need to question that old diet and exercise paradigm. They think, okay, like it's all about losing weight. I'm going to do my Ozempic and I'm going to make my teeth look brighter with my veneers. And they think, this is like the common way that we've been taught to think. And I think with time, the people that live that paradigm are going to realize, oh, wow, like there's something flawed about this paradigm. And I think the folks that are doing Revive or using these biomechanics are going to see that we're going to pull further and further away from those people that are living by that other paradigm. So to wrap up here, so like this is a little bit of a philosophical thing, and it's about, this is a long journey that is hard sometimes. And when you start, you're just making small incremental improvements. And the people that are living that health paradigm are going to look at you and almost mock you sometimes, right? And so you need to be able to withstand that. You need to be able to look up at them and say, okay, right? Like I'm patient. And then like as the years go on, that relationship starts to flip. And so in order to play that long game, some of what happens to you as your fire.